Today is Friday, January 31, 2025. This is the 6 p.m. edition of Kear Newsline. 45 minutes of the most recent news reporting about Liberia and the rest of our one word. I'm Lee Monjue presenting. In the headlines, National Elections Commission confirms notification from the Liberian Senate announcing vacant seats in the 55th National Legislature. Government of Liberia launches urgent diplomatic attack to block looming deportation of 1,500 Liberians from the United States. Foreign Minister Sarah Yanti begins high-level talks with U.S. diplomats in Monrovia. President Joseph Boakai reiterated his government's support to the armed forces of Liberia, urging members of the army to serve with dignity. And away from Liberia, chaos erupted in Ghana's parliament late Thursday night, with lawmakers destroying furniture and pushing and shoving each other. This was our news bulletin. The voices of the newsmakers, details of these developments, our package of West Aloysius Chea and the news bulletin. Good evening, Aloysius.
Good evening, listeners. The National Elections Commission of Liberia has received an official notification from the Liberian Senate announcing a vacant seat in the 55th National Legislature. The Liberian Senate, in its letter addressed to the acting chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Councillor P. Tapla Reeves, disclosed that the vacancy in the Senate exists due to the death of Senator Prince Johnson of Nema County. The Senate letter signed by its Secretary Nambodo Sengwe calls the presiding officer in section as saying the letter shall constitute the legal and sufficient authority as provided for in Article 37 of the Liberian Constitution. Article 37 of the 1986 Liberian Constitution states in the event of a vacancy in the legislature caused by death, resignation, expulsion, or otherwise, the presiding officer shall within 30 days notify the Elections Commission thereof. The Elections Commission shall no later than 90 days thereafter cause a by-election to be held, provided that when such vacancy occurs within 90 days prior to the holding of the general elections, the filling of the vacancy shall wait the holding of such general elections. The government of Liberia has launched an urgent diplomatic offensive to block the looming deportation of approximately 1,500 Liberians from the United States under the Trump era. The looming deportation has since sparked a high-stake political clash and increasing panic within the diaspora community. A statement issued by the Embassy of Liberia in Washington, D.C., officials revealed that President Joseph Walker's administration is in intense cooperation with the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia and the U.S. State Department to negotiate alternatives to the controversial deportation plan. The move follows mounting pressure from advocacy groups and Liberian organizations in the U.S., including the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, demanding intervention. Liberia's Foreign Minister Sarah Yanti has taken center stage in the crisis, engaging in high-level talks with U.S. diplomats in Monrovia and urgently seeking a face-to-face meeting with the newly appointed U.S. Secretary of State. The Trump administration originally mandated the termination of Liberia's deferred enforcement departure status in 2019, but implementation delays under Biden offered temporary relief. President Joseph Walker has reiterated his government's continued support to the armed forces of Liberia to ensure better army. Speaking during the program marking a pinning ceremony of heads of the armed forces of Liberia, President Walker vowed that his government's support in making sure that the army is recognized and in preparedness to serve the country. He urged members of the armed forces of Liberia to serve with dignity and love for country. He at the same time expressed gratitude to members of the EFL for their immense sacrifices and what's being done in the interest of the country and its citizens. According to him, his government remains committed, making sure that the army remains the best in the region. Political commentator Henry Constance disclosed his reunion with President Joseph Walker after months of a healthy relationship. According to a social media post from Costa's young photos, a nearly 2 hours conversation with the president, reflecting on stories and laughters and highlighting the significance of their reconciliation. Costa expressed deep gratitude to those who facilitated the meeting, acknowledging their efforts in restoring a cherished relationship. He quoted President Walker's comical remark, when a prodigal son returns home, it is the cow that suffers because it is slaughtered for the feast, emphasizing the deeper meaning of sacrifice in love and family. Reflecting on the experience, Costa noted that forgiveness, understanding, and love can bridge even the wildest divisions. Henry Costa further expressed his hope for a strengthened bond with his uncle and a prosperous future for Liberia. Citizens of Nema County have restored Senator Yan Tuan and Senate leadership for honoring the fallen Nema County Godfather Senator Prince Johnson's legacy. The Nema County citizens in a release extended their profound gratitude to Senator Yan Tuan and the leadership of the Liberian Senate for their unanimous decision to transfer the chair used by Senator Prince Johnson at the Senate to Nema County. The release from the county's superintendent, Cole Miape pointed out the decision by the Senate demonstrates a significant recognition of the legacy of the late Senator Johnson. According to Superintendent Cole Miape the decision, which was championed on behalf of the county by Senator Twain and endorsed by the Senate, is intended to pursue the Grand Museum currently being built in Saniquete in honor of the late Senator Johnson. The museum will serve as a landmark of Myanmar's rich political history and the enduring contributions of one of its most influential sons. Peter Johnson, the prosecution care witness in the Capitol building as on trial, has presented an audio recording supporting the police investigative report. In the recording played in open court, co-defendant Thomas Edward is heard discussing with defendant Eric Chea their plans to buy gasoline for making petrol bombs, aligning with details from the police report. The WhatsApp conversation also indicates they assaulted a police officer and handed his weapon to former Executive Protection Service members involved in the protest. Johnson testified that Edrich transported the alleged attackers from Broadville to the Capitol building, where they carried out their assault. He further identified Eric Cicere as one of those who attacked the police officer and transferred his weapon to ex-APS officers. Meanwhile, the Monrovia City Coast Penitentiary Ben Bacon has fined state lawyers USD 100 for misleading the court by presenting NSA agent Louis Jaden as an officer of the Liberia National Police. Montserrado County District 3 Representative Simon Morbas recounted several achievements in his district in his first year at the legislature. Speaking when he appeared as guest on the Friday's edition of the Kear Morning Show, Representative Morba named Unity, provision of technical and vocational education for youths and provision of scholarships. He also named the provision of basic healthcare delivery, sanitary materials, amongst other things, as some of his achievements in the first year of his leadership. According to Representative Morba, though it is not his responsibility to build roads, but his oversight responsibility as lawmaker is to contribute to the pavement of feeder roads in the district. Commenting on the impasse at the legislature, Representative Small Morba clarified that though he is not a member of the COFA's bloc, but called on his colleagues to follow the rule of law in order for the work of the Liberian people to be done. Representative Morba at the same time frowned at President Walker's failure to reconcile the country and ensure proper pavement of major roads across the country. A political pressure group honored the Banner intellectual class has accused Montserrado County District 8 Representative Prince Tolles of corruption and squandering monies intended to develop the district. Appearing as guest on the Kear Morning Show Friday, the chairman of the group, Marcin Tappan, described Representative Tolles' involvement into the removal of Speaker Fonati Kofa as alarming. Marcin Tappan alleged that funds given to the district for inaugural celebration was single-handedly used by the lawmakers, something They said proves that Representative Toles does not mean well for the district and its citizens. Masson, however, vowed to declare the District 8 representative a threat to the district if he fails to do what he was elected for. He called on residents of District 8 to pressure Representative Prince Toll to desist from lawlessness and corrupt malpractices and prioritize the interests of the district. My Gibby County District 2 Representative Ava Jules has broken ground for the construction of a bridge linking Dodo Town and Saint Town in Lower Magibie County. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Representative Jones said the construction of the bridge will bring relief to citizens during the rainy season. The Magibie County Legislative Caucus Chair noted that during the rainy season, citizens of the area go through difficulty crossing from Dodo Town to Saint Town. Representative Jones said the construction of the bridge is as a result of promise made to citizens of the district during the 2023 election. He assured the public that the bridge project will be completed within 4 months, disclosing that money used for the construction are part of the district development funds. The city mayor of Tapita City, Calaway Dan, has found on stakeholders for failure to construct decent buildings at key areas in the city of Kakata. Mayor Dan stressed the need for stakeholders to construct buildings that will attract investors and tourists, noting that Kakata City has been one of those beautiful cities during the past and must return to its beautiful state. Mayor Dan at the same time urged citizens to get involved and ensure that Kakata City is developed. According to him, such effort will buttress government's efforts, noting that Kakata remains a hub for business owners and as such stakeholders must ensure the construction of decent buildings. Mayor Dan made these comments during a tour in Tapita City Friday morning. The Ministry of Education has officially transferred the management of a modern senior secondary school in Magibie County to the International Consolidated Contractors (RCC), marking a major milestone in completing a key educational infrastructure project. International Consolidated Contractors now assumes full responsibility for its construction and fulfillment of its needed purpose. The school had previously faced significant delays due to a formal contractor failure to meet contractual obligations and timeline, leaving the project in disrepair. However, International Consolidated Contractors Management said it is now set for completion according to the highest standards, promising students in Magibie County access to a modern educational facility. The formal handover ceremony took place in Kakata, Magibie County, where Honorable Abraham Kazul, project coordinator for the Rise Initiative, provided an overview of the ongoing construction efforts, which aims to expand educational access across Liberia. The statement highlighted that the school, when completed, will feature 15 classrooms, a library, laboratory, and a recreation center, ensuring an optimal learning environment for students. The project is initially set for a 14-month completion timeline beginning in 2022, with an expected completion in December 2025 and have been delayed, but is now back on track. The school project, which RCC is now overseeing, is expected to be delivered as a fully functional modern educational institution benefiting students in the broader Magibie County community. We'll leave as the latest in the news. Brighton is back to you for continuation.
Aloysius Chea and a full bulletin of news from the news center. The news bulletin is a regular feature of Kear Newsline. Aloysius returns with our following development. These stories we are following this evening. National Elections Commission confirms notification from the Liberian Senate announcing vacant seat in the 55th National Legislature. Government of Liberia launches urgent diplomatic attack to block Roman deportation of 1,500 Liberians from the United States. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti begins high-level talks with U.S. diplomats in Monrovia. President Joseph Boakai reiterated his government's support to the Army of Liberia, urging members of the Army to serve with dignity. And away from Liberia, chaos erupted in Ghana's parliament late Thursday night, with lawmakers destroying furniture and pushing and shoving each other. We take this break to be back with the voices of the newsmakers. Many thanks for joining us. As you may have heard in the news, President Joseph Boakai has reiterated his government's continued support to the armed forces of Liberia to ensure a better army. Speaking during a program marking the pinning ceremony of heads of the armed forces of Liberia, President Boakai vowed his government's support in making sure that the army is recognized in preparedness to serve the country. He urged members of the army to serve with dignity and love for country.
Well, to serve this country, we meant to serve the country and also the people of this country can feel secure that they have an army that they can trust. So I want to thank you for this occasion today. Some of the things we're doing may have been a little delayed, but we'll catch up. I just want to make you know that I'm proud of our army, and we will do everything to make sure that our army is recognized and is always will be in position to serve this country. Thank to our partners and all those who have worked with us to make us come to this point. And thanks to the Liberian people for the support and respect given to the army. I just want to thank you all for honoring the family members of the honorees for your courage and patience to help them to serve their country. Liberia has always been there in this region to serve. And so that we are committed to. Thank you. God bless you. Have to preserve our nation.
Liberian President Jose Boakai. The city mayor of Tapeta City, Kaliwodan, has front as stakeholders for failure to construct decent buildings at key areas in the city of Kakata. Mayor Dan said it is a need for stakeholders to construct buildings that will attract investors and tourists, noting that Kakata City has been one of those beautiful cities during the past and must return to a beautiful state. Mayor Dan made the comments during a tour in Tapeta City Friday.
Days and people not getting attention, but once people hands on them, at least expect it to be like this. I thought my district superintendent, the inspectors, the development superintendent, all of them will work along with me so that we will ensure that this place is clean. I have recommended several times to them how we can join hands and clean the place. So larger portion of this world, we've been making several calls. We've spoken with our district representative who is equally actually trying. I think sometime last year, I drew the attention of the county superintendent. And she told me, yeah, what I want you to do for me is to do a video a pictorial, send it to me. Let me see what you're talking about. And I did without delay. I sent it to her that she has prioritized this very building. Few days, few weeks to come, months to come. I think we'll be seeing some light here because I said I've heard.
Capital City Mayor Kaliudam. A political pressure group named Intellectual Class of District 8 has accused Morsurado County District 8 Representative Prince Tors of corruption and squandering monies intended to develop the district. Appearing as guest on the Kear Morning Show Friday, the chairman of the group, Maxim Tape, described Representative Tors' involvement into the removal of embattled Speaker Funanti Kufa as a lame.
One involvement you can have, that involvement can stigmatize your entire regime or your leadership. And we see that also in the national politics. Once you do that, you know directly, immediately that you are totally off for the next 5 years. On the two, involvement with the speaker's remover, it caused a lot. First day in 2024, with the initiation of the illegal coupon. He serves as the distributor of the illegal coupon, and that coupon was over $450,000 from JMA. So we've heard about that. So that was the first initiation. That was the second initiation. The first initiation was the inauguration celebration money, $5,000 that was distributed.
Yeah, that was given to this district.
In district. So we see the display of eagerness to corruption. Meaning, you go there, you had that pretentious mind. You cover yourself pretentiously, you preach deception, and you told the people that you are coming to create a power for the bread and butter. And one of the things that you don't know professionally, you wouldn't know that because you're not a politician. One of the things that people don't know when to power, the express contribution to district number 8 is supposed to be trying to solve some community issues. And we see that UC Liberia had this initiative long ago, something that was negotiated for, which is the county-wide sanitation project. The county-wide sanitation project supposed to be for 4 counties in Monjue County. 4 counties in Liberia. Monjue County was part of it. Monjue County received for share 202. The purpose 202 to go and receive their share. So receive over $300,000 to support some community in district number 8. Roughly out of the 20.
Was it confirmed that he received
$300,000? Received it. That was the first initiation of how we started sharing benefits for rent. That was not meant for bed for rent. And the county-wide sanitation project, the purpose of that project is to open defecation and renovate homes that are deplorable in district number 8. Unfortunately, on the took that money and he pretentiously, out of deception, started sharing vector for a few gallons of water. So, with all of this small initiation of corruption,
Meanwhile, Chairman Maxine Tape has vowed to declare the District 8 representative a threat to the district if he fails to do what he was elected for. He called on residents of the district to pressure Representative Tors to desist from lawlessness and corrupt malpractices and prioritize the interests of the district.
it is work to the public. The intellectual class meeting. Number two, needs to fulfill its promises with institutions that are in district number 8. Number two, has to cater to some of the slum communities by raiding the corridors with false promises and that. You need to desist from any bloc that supports lawlessness, corruption.
Maxine Tapper is the chairman of a political pressure group named Intellectual Class of District 8. Margibi County District 2 Representative Ava Jones has broken grounds for the construction of a bridge linking Dodo Town and Sam Town in Lower Margibi County. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Representative Jones said the construction of the bridge will bring relief to citizens during the rainy season. Margibi County District 2 Representative Avan Jones. Well, listeners, if you are just tuning, you are listening to Kear Newsline. Today is Friday, January 31, 2025. I'm Lee Monjue presenting. Big stories top in the news this evening. National Elections Commission confirms notification from the Liberian Senate announcing vacant seat in the 55th National Legislature. Government of Liberia launches urgent diplomatic attack to block looming deportation of 1,500 Liberians from the United States. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslow Yanti begins high-level talks with U.S. diplomats in Monrovia. President Joseph Boakai reiterates his government's support to the armed forces of Liberia, urging members of the army to serve with dignity. And away from Liberia, chaos erupted in Ghana's parliament late Thursday night, with lawmakers destroying furniture and pushing and shoving each other. We take another break to be back with more development. Many thanks for rejoining us. Monserrato County District 3 Representative Smobora has recounted several achievements in his district in his first year at the legislature. Speaking when he appeared as guest on the Friday's edition of the Kear Morning Show, Representative Moba named Unity, provision of technical and vocational education for youth and provision of scholarships. He also named the provision of basic health care delivery, sanitary materials, among others, some of his achievements in his first year at the legislature. Meanwhile, commenting on the impasse at the legislature, Representative Small Mobile clarified that though he is not a member of the COFA's bloc, but called on his colleagues to follow the rule of law in order for the work of the Liberian people to be done.
Verify what you shared.
Marcelado County District 3 representatives moved more about their in conversation with Jefferson Weir of our staff on the Friday's edition of the Kear Morning Show. A pro-life organization, the Campaigners Against Extreme Abortion in Liberia, has begun a three-day deliberation aimed at assessing the performance of faith-based organization campaign on reducing abortion in the River member countries. Speaking at ceremony marking the beginning of the deliberation in Broville, the former president of the Liberia Council of Churches, Bishop Porto Brown, stressed the need to stop the killing of unborn babies in the River Union Basin.
trying to
Former Liberia Council of Churches President Bishop Porto Brown. Also speaking, the Senior Deputy Administrator at the Bureau of Global Health at the United States Agency for International Development, Dr. Monique Webbenhurst warned women against taking the lives of unborn babies.
Abortion never safe.
a senior deputy administrator at the Bureau of Global Health at the United States Agency for International Development, Dr. Monique Webenhurst, and a listening to former president of the Liberal Council of Churches, Bishop Cotton Brown. The president of the National Teachers Association of Liberia, Mary Newman, has rejected allegations of corruption leveled against her by some members of the association. Speaking to journalists, Mary Newman disclosed that in accordance with the constitution of the National Teachers Association of Liberia, the leadership of the association has been audited by an auditing firm named Mo Moruve, According to Mary Newman, the Representative Council and the National Executive Committee of the National Teachers Association of Liberia that authorized the audit is awaiting the report from the auditors. Mary Newman is the president of the National Teachers Association of Liberia. In foreign news, chaos erupted in Ghana's parliament late on Thursday night, with lawmakers destroying furniture and pushing and shoving each other. Police were called into the meeting held to vet Ghana's new ministerial appointment as MPs damaged tables and microphones. The vetting committee had disagreed over a number of issues, with some accusing opposition MPs of dragging out the process in order to settle political scores. On Friday morning, the vetting committee's chairman apologized to the Ghanaian public, calling it totally unacceptable. The cross-party committee had been scheduled to vet three lawmakers from the governing National Democratic Congress. The trio had been nominated for ministerial positions after the NDC triumphed over the New Patriotic Party in December election. That's the foreign development. Well, listeners, on that foreign note, there's how I'd like to draw down the curtains of today's Friday, January 31, 2025, 6 p.m. edition of Kear Newsline. This has been the joint effort of the News and Current Affairs Department here at Kear Communications Network. Many thanks to all of our reporters, contributors, editors who have been making this edition of the program a success. Many thanks to Aloysius, who brought forth a full bulletin of national and international news. Maria Manjalo sat at control and handled the technical aspect. George Guer ensured our visibility go beyond the studio. Before we take a leave, a relook of our headlines. National Elections Commission confirms notification from the Liberian Senate announcing vacancy in the 55th National Legislature. Government of Liberia launches urgent diplomatic attack to block looming deportation of 1,500 Liberians from the United States. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti begins high-level talks with U.S. diplomats in Monrovia. As you heard in the news, President Joseph Boakai reiterates his government's support to the armed forces of Liberia, urging members of the army to serve with dignity. And away from Liberia, chaos erupted in Ghana's parliament late Thursday night, with lawmakers destroying furniture and pushing and shoving each other. These plus many more developments brought you Thanks for listening. I'm Lee Monjue, our package and presented. Good night.